Welcome in 49ers faithful, 2 straight wins, back to 5-5, firmly in the playoff hunt. And we have the Eagles right now doing yeoman's work for us too, and the Packers came back in their game. So we're firmly in this thing, man. Turnaround, you went into Jacksonville, you did what you had to do and kick the shit out of the Jacksonville Jaguars. That opening drive was awesome. I know you kind of had to catch up a little bit on it, but the opening drive, 20 plays out the gate, ends in a field goal. A little bit disappointed in the field goal there, but it happens. Sometimes drives get stalled. I was a little shocked that we didn't go for it on 4th down in that situation. Overall, just put a hammer to them out the gate. What is your impressions of the 49ers performance today against Jacksonville?
Obviously, we're not going to get super excited over a win against the Jaguars, but I mean, it was 2. Now we're putting back-to-back weeks, putting together games that we haven't seen before from this Niners team this season yet. So that I am excited about. 2 blowout wins. Just a couple weeks ago, it seemed like the Niners were not capable of blowing any team out. Now we see that big performance on Monday Night Football, and then coming into a short week, going all the way to the East Coast, West Coast team, going to the East Coast team. It's never the easiest thing to do. And the fact that the Niners went in there, had to do what they needed to do, I'll take it. Big time performances from the offense again. We really talked about how the defense needed to step up the past couple of weeks, and they have. We do know that it was against Jacksonville. But Jacksonville was starting to play well. They gave Indianapolis a good game last week, and they beat Buffalo. So I'm not going to take it away from them saying, oh, it was just a win against Jacksonville. A win is a win. It goes into the win column, which we now stand at 5-5. If you guys haven't watched, we actually have the previous video before this one is actually us talking about our playoff hopes going into the rest of the season. So if you guys want to check that out, we kind of go into detail as to what the Niners need to do to get themselves into that playoff hunt. And this was one of the things, right? They needed to take care of business in Jacksonville, and they did that. They stand at 5-5. Minnesota looked like they were about to, be at 5-5, and then Aaron Rodgers strikes there. So that's still in the question. New Orleans looks like they're about to drop a big one to Philadelphia. And it's actually good that Philadelphia wins because remember, we have that tiebreaker against the Eagles. So still a lot to play for here. I know the season didn't start as good as we wanted it to, but now with 2 back-to-back wins, 2 big back-to-back wins like that, it seems like this is the real start of the Niners season for us.
See, this could be the real stretch for the Niners to get into the playoffs here, because next week, at this current juncture, 31-31 Packers, Vikings, you get that win against the Vikings no matter what happens here today, and you have the advantage. You have the tiebreakers. You have a game lead. Obviously, we'd love for the Packers to pull this one out and really add to that separation for the Niners. But the Niners control their own destiny to this point, and that's the beautiful thing of it. You also hope that potentially the Cardinals could beat the Seahawks and bury them a little bit more today. As far as what went well today, you mentioned the defense stepped up. Said it all year, and I'm going to continue saying it. Turnovers are important. We needed turnovers. And shout out to Josh Norman for another peanut punch, another strip fumble there that Fred Warner landed on this time. Fred Warner actually landed on and recovered a fumble today. That's what we need. That we need those sudden changes, those opportunities to really put it to teams, to not be the one making the mistake. It's been a couple weeks, and maybe we haven't necessarily been facing the right quarterbacks to exploit this weakness, but the Niners have also not committed any DPI calls, which, if you remember, and we're still leading in this category, by the way, but we were leading by a wider margin just a couple weeks ago when we went into the Colts game, where their strategy was literally just throw it up in the air and someone will commit a penalty. Now at least that's been cleaned up. You're seeing more turnovers. Basically, we're not shooting ourselves in the foot. And we're going out there on offense and we're playing Niners football. We're running the ball. We have an even pass run distribution. Jimmy's playing well. He's not throwing a lot, but when he is throwing, he's throwing and hitting his guys in stride, aside from that one Jeff Wilson in the flat touchdown that should have been earlier in the game. But today, we had Deebo Samuel, we had Brandon Aiyuk, and we had George Kittle all score touchdowns. I'm pretty sure that's the first time that I've seen all 3 of those guys involved in a Niners blowout, involved in scoring a touchdown in the game. And it's awesome seeing Aiyuk out there. He has been a game changer for this Niners team. Also, I think it was important. I was a little disappointed that the Niners didn't give Trey Lance the full 4th quarter, given it was already a blowout at that point. But, we got him out there for a little bit. The only thing I would like to see is a box score that involves some passing there, because that's what I ultimately want to see from the guy. I want to see in his rookie development. But I don't care about Trey Lance playing this year so long as the team is winning this year. and they're winning. They're starting to turn this corner here. Now, like I said, you got the Vikings coming up. You got the Seahawks coming up. You got the Bengals and Falcons. If you could just get 3 out of 4 wins there, go 3 for 4 in that stretch, I think you're in the playoffs. I think you're in the playoffs, locked and loaded. If you could win 3 out of 4 in that stretch there, obviously the most important games in that stretch are going to be the NFC games. So if you focus on winning those, that's all the separation you need in this division, in this conference to get in there. And who knows, maybe you are starting to show you could beat a good team when you beat the Rams on Monday night in the style you did. That's some momentum you can build on for a playoff run. Hopefully, I mean, my expectations aren't super high, but if you could just win a playoff game, I guess that would be a win in my book in this season. Anything else stood out for you today? Anything else we could add to the commentary here on the Jaguars?
Well, as far as that playoff win, if you ask NFC teams around the league, which teams want to line up against this Niners team, not a lot of them are going to raise their hand. This is a dangerous team when it comes to playoff games and, one and done situations on a team that's super balanced, on an offense that's super balanced, and a defense that could be dangerous like this Niners defense. As long as they continue to work on that, I think they could be just as dangerous as anybody coming off of that wild card round. But again, we have to take care of business ourselves. Yes, as of right now, we technically do still need a little bit of help to get us into those top 7 spots, one of those top 7 spots. But if we continue to just take care of business against some of these teams like Jacksonville today, then we know we kind of just take it out of the question, and it doesn't really end up matter what these other teams do. But as far as today, I mean, you did what you were supposed to do. And I know we had to give last week we didn't give too much credit on the coaching staff, but this week we will. This is a typical letdown spot where you have a big game, you blow out a divisional opponent. It would have been super easy for you to just, have a super letdown performance here in Jacksonville. So the fact that the coaching staff got this team ready to go to the East Coast and got them ready and have that type of performance is really, you had to give Kyle Shanahan the credit for this type of performance that this team has been able to put in back-to-back weeks. I know we haven't been the nicest to Kyle Shanahan and that coaching staff, but this time we'll give them credit. They put together a couple of big time weeks and, put us back into the playoff picture.
It's just important for them to come out the gate in Minnesota with that same energy, come out with that same passion that they've had the last couple weeks, because at the moment it looks like Minnesota is going to win this game. They're taking a couple of kneel downs. We're there on the Green Bay 11-yard line as it currently stands. So I project a field goal there, aside from potential Greg Joseph disaster. It was just important. You also had to take advantage of mistakes that the Jaguars were giving you. A bad team like that is going to give you mistakes to capitalize on. And that was part of the problem early on. The Niners were that bad team. They were making those DPI calls. They were turning the ball over. They were not capitalizing on the other team opportunities that they were giving them. You have a Jacksonville player in today's game that gets ejected for starting a fight with Jawan Jennings. You have a couple key injuries there. Those are the type of things that you take advantage of and you win those games. And I'm proud of the team for stepping up today. Like you said, in a letdown spot potentially. They didn't let us down. So keep doing what you're doing, guys. Again, important games coming up. Niners faithful, drop below in the comments who do you think was the biggest game changer. My early vote is Deebo Samuel, because that man is incredible, lining up at running back today. Not just wide receiver. How many number 1 wide receivers line up at running back and then take it to the house for a 25-yard score? Not a lot of them.
Not a single one.
Drop below some love for Deebo Samuel in the comments. Drop some love below for the team in general in the comments. Leave a like on this video because, of course, helps the channel, helps the algorithm, helps us get out to more 49ers faithful. 49 reasons listen right here. 2 reasons right here. Julian Martinez, Jose Corral. We'll see you on the next one.